But yeah, I think I am audible in the meeting. So yeah, still if I'm not, you can just let me know in the chat box. I believe my screen is also visible. So now thinking this audio is not clear, but your screen is visible. So just give me a moment. We'll fix this issue as well. So hi, Mr. As somebody has asked, so the demo session covers everything, all aspects of Quantsapp. No. So today's session it would be more towards intraday specific tools, wherein we are going to look into certain tools, just like FnO News. We'll look into FnO Scanner. We'll look into the charts, and finally we'll look into very critical tool when it comes to, especially in the days of expiries. So which is the option chain what if analysis. So I think no sound. Okay, okay. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I'll just fix the audio issue and then we'll take this demo session ahead. So hey all, I think my audio is better now. So can just someone quickly know? Already we are a bit late. So can you just someone quickly know whether my voice is audible properly or not? I guess it would be fixed now. So still you guys can just help me in the chat box. It's better. Yeah. So now talking about tools and concept, yeah. So we'll be looking towards the efficient use of concept. So now talking about, let's say the tools what we are going to cover today is it's the FnO news. Then we are going to cover the scanner, the FnO scanner. Then we'll cover the charts, which are again one of the most interesting add-ons in our tool. And we'll cover the option chain what if analysis. So now without a further ado, let's dive deep into the very first tool for today, which is FnO News. So now what does FnO means over here? So basically, in simple words, before as I every day I do it, like before proceeding ahead, we first try to understand the usage about the tools and then we try to decode the UI. So similar sort of practice we are going to follow today. So now talking about, so yeah, the build. I guess there are some audio issues, so we are just fixing that thing as well. So I'll just mute the mic once. You guys can stay tuned for it.
Hello. So yeah, I think the audio issue might have been fixed. So just can somebody quickly let me know about it? I hope it is fine now. So clear. Okay, okay. Thank you, Mr. Sunil. Thank you, Mr. Vinu. So now, yeah, so now we have got stuck a bit as obviously due to the infrastructure issue, and we already have wasted a bit time. So now let's try to understand first the term which is FNO news. So wherein each and every news with related to the FNO segment. Now, what particular news is this? So just trying to give you guys a very realistic picture. There are two indices, Nifty Bank Nifty, and there are 140 plus stocks listed into FNO segment. So manually, if I say that multiple opportunities come day in and day out in many of the scripts, and there are a lot of fluctuations happening on each and every scripts and different strike price. As a human being, I can't keep a track upon each and every stock, track each and every strike price of it, because it's unrealistic. I can't do it, because even if I want to, let's say, take a trade at least in 50 scripts at least, or I have to take a trade at least in 10 scripts, but I never know where the unusual activity is. And market, trust me, it gives us ample amount of opportunities each and every day. So similar sort of opportunities, or I would say similar sort of news, FNO news helps us to pick up. So now let's try to understand what it is. So FNO news, it's showing us the data, or it is giving us the news for each and every strike price. It can be any of the script, it can be any of the underlying and any given strike price, wherever it witnesses an unusual activity and very unusual change. Either it can be in the open interest, either the IVs could have been like drastically taken a cooler down approach. Also either it can be the change in the price, कि suddenly अगर option का price बढ़ गया तो manually हम नहीं देख सकते, right? तो FNO news, it is giving me similar sort of data. So now let's try to read the data out here. Vedanta, I see the script, 200 put option, open interest has increased by 107 percentage. IV of this particular strike price, which is by the way of 25th of March, IVs have increased by 2 percentage, and the prices of this option, which is Vedanta's 25th March 200 put, has gone down by 21 percentage, and the price is 9.5 right now. So now it is giving me कि okay, Vedanta में ये activity हो चुका है already. So now as I said, n number of activities happen day in and day out. So what's now the practical usage of it? So let's try to understand how we can implement or how we can make the most out of it in an intraday trading. So now does it mean कि यहाँ पे मुझे directly एक 200 का जो put है वो short करना है? Straight no. It is giving us the data कि यहाँ पे 200 के put option पे एक short positions open हुई है. Open interest has increased and the prices are going down. So it is giving me certain kind of news which has happened already in the market. So now talking about the implementation of it. So let's say if I see Tata Steel, see there is multiple times Tata Steel has appeared on our screen. So let's try to understand what's the usage of it is. 850 call option, short coverings witnessed, open interest down, prices are going up. So अभी मैं इसको इस तरीके से देखूंगा कि पहले तो मैं स्ट्राइक प्राइसेस का एक्चुअल रेलेवेंस समझूंगा, ओके, कि हाउ दिस न्यूज इज इम्पैक्टफुल और हाउ दिस पर्टिकुलर न्यूज इज रेलेवेंट. Say for example, अगर इसका प्राइस, the Tata Steel's price is let's say 700 or 790 for that matter, 790 780. So in that particular context, 850 strike price, it becomes way far out of the money call option, correct? So यहाँ का जो short coverings है, it wouldn't even matter to me a lot, correct? Apart from it, again giving you guys a very realistic picture. अगर यूपीएल का प्राइस is somewhere around 470 480 something like this, my whole point is 550 put option is way far out of the money put option. For example, जहां पे there is very little open interest or absolutely no open interest. Eventually, adding in some quantities, the open interest will be increased in a drastic number, and that will be fetched as an unusual activity in the application. So while doing it, we need to keep in mind, first of all, the relevant strike prices, as I said. Also, the next step is how far the strike price is at the money and how relevant the news is. Okay, so now we were on Tata Steel. Okay, so Tata Steel mein I am seeing ki okay, call option pe short coverings, 820 के call option पे there is a long built up, open interest increase and prices are going up. So that means certain this by these two news I'm getting certain sort of indications, or I would say that it is giving me certain sort of biasness for an intraday trading in the on the positive note. Why is that so? We saw that the resistance is unwinding, the resistance is weakened, whereas the support has increased. You can see 730 put option short built up, 680 put option short built up, but I don't know what the price of Tata Steel is right now, right? So not so each and every 5 minutes different news is going to appear on your screen. So now it doesn't mean कि हर एक 5 मिनट्स में आपको एक ट्रेड मिलेगा या फिर आपको एक रेलेवेंट डेटा देखने मिलेगा. सो what you need, what I assume is basically at the money strike prices will show you much more impact, giving you a clear picture. And with an very practical example, यहाँ पे अगर प्राइस होता टाटा स्टील का, just focus on this strike price which is of 850 call, short coverings 25th February expiry, short यहाँ पे है already on call option, 30% call writers are unwinding their positions, we are seeing a short coverings move. But यहाँ पे अगर प्राइस होता let's say 840 842 in somewhere within that range, I see that okay, resistance with a very closer strike price, so this becomes kind of very at the money strike or very closer to the future price strike price. So it is showing me certain sort of relevant data. Why is that so? 840 पे future price है, 850 पे 850 पे I'm seeing that call writers are covering their positions. So it's showing me certain sort of indication कि call writers are nervous at the strike price of 850. So there might be something positive they are expecting, right? So in that way, what I need is a relevant news. Market doesn't give opportunity every 5 minutes, and I believe that you guys know it better. So always stick with the relevant news. I see the activities out here. Okay, so there are certain strike prices or certain news which are highlighted in red color. So it is indicating you for a better visual that यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा activity हुआ है. Like the activity is defined as very unusual over here. So by the word unusual, I mean कि open interest has changed very, like in very drastic numbers, whether it has increased or decreased. Price has gone drastically, has moved drastically, and the IVs either they have shoot up in very quick duration of time, and unusual activity seen basically on that particular strike prices. So from an intraday perspective, how it is going to be of like a lot of it would be very handy for us, wherein we are getting edge over the participants कि यहाँ पे advance में only we are getting the news कि data यहाँ पे already हो चुका है. And as I said, I can't keep a track upon each and every script कहाँ पे एक possibility बन सकता है. So FnO News helps us out with similar sort of move. I can see Nalco 55 CE 54 CE witnessing a short coverings. So meanwhile, I can find out different ways of finding out an opportunity. So here was the thing with the FnO News, wherein I can see what built up is going around. Short built up, open interest increasing, price decreasing. A short coverings, open interest unwinding, and prices are going up. And SOP highlighting index stock options, and IOP would be highlighting index options. So if I click on it, IOP index options, SOP stock options, FVT futures. So we meanwhile we might be having a lot of participants who only do into Nifties and Bank Nifties indices. I'll click on to the index options out here. Okay, so let me just refresh my application once. So I'll go on to FnO News, by the way, again. So here I have the news. So this button will appear like a latest news something. So you guys can obviously get each and every 5 minutes कुछ ना कुछ नया news आएगा. हर एक news is not going to be impactful, neither it is going to be relevant. But there are going to be certain news, certain opportunities in the market which you might miss. कि अगर for example एक script है which is witnessing a continuous long built up on call, or I would say a continuous short coverings or on at the money strike prices on call options, it is giving you certain indications that call writers are getting worried. And nevertheless, I can sort it down for those who are have been a lot into nifties and bank nifties. Go for index options. Wherever index options witnessing an unusual activity, those will be fetched out here. So there is no such unusual activity going around. So let's try to sort it down again by the index options, so I can scroll down as much as I want. Yeah, so Nifty 1470 14750 put option short built up. That means it is indicating that support of 14750 has strengthened. Open interest has increased by a huge number. That too in this expiry, considering 2 days left to the expiry, it's a decent amount of support which we are seeing out here. The price change was 30%, and I can see at what time exactly. Like in application, we are giving you an 5 minute snapshot data. So the activity was fetched at 3:20 p.m. on 23rd of February, which is today. Bank Nifty 36,900 call option, a short built up. I'll check how relevant the strike is of 36,900. Again, a disclaimer, यहाँ पे direct, it is not a trade wherein you directly go and short your bank nifty's 36,900 call. It is showing कि ये activity has happened. So activity has happened. If you would have if you would have seen it, let's say at 321 14750 पे put option has increased, support has increased, and that too in a very drastic number. So I'll directly open this thing first of all in the open interest tool to check the relevance of the strike price, which we aren't going to cover today. I had covered it yesterday. So for those who actually have missed the yesterday's session, you can also watch it on YouTube. So that was for index options. I can go for futures. So wherever for a lot of you guys who are into futures, so you never know how the futures contracts are behaving and where an unusual activity rises up. FnO news will give you an edge wherein it will give you a data very much in as soon as possible terms, like wherever there is an unusual activity. I can see Reliance open interest increased by 25%. IVs are flat. Obviously, futures IVs don't come into play. Price has gone up by 1%. I see a long built up in futures contracts. So all sort of data needed to do an analysis for, I would say, to pick up an opportunity based on the momentum going around in the market. FnO news comes very handy, especially during the times when there is some RBL policies are going to be announced, budget is going to be announced, or any script announcing its results. So in FnO news, market में तो क्या हो रहा है, everybody knows it कि budget we can witness it even on television itself. लेकिन how the impact has been on the options data, and which are the sectors or which are the scripts have had the most positive or negative impact, FnO news will show it to you in like next to no time. And again, it's not an direct trade. We have to directly place an long call on 550 call option on McDowell. It's basically it's showing कि यहाँ पे this activity has already happened. You check the relevance of the strike price, read the open interest data as we did yesterday, and then you can plan out your options trade. Never just never just jump onto an opportunity seeing a single data point. Always try to club your data point to increase your probability of winning, because you never know कि यहाँ पे it is showing an unusual activity 2060 call option. यहाँ पे open interest होगा ही नहीं. जहाँ पे अगर यहाँ पे बहुत ज्यादा एक कॉल ऑप्शन राइट किया होगा इन अ बिग क्वांटिटी, someone might have just shorted Kotak's 2060 call option in a good quantity. So it will be catched as an unusual activity. Why is that? So open interest has gone up in a very drastic number. Also, I can see the price change. So yeah, again, if I think I have made, I guess I have made myself pretty much clear upon that. So still, if you guys want me to cover it again, I'll definitely do it. But yeah, I think it was pretty much straightforward tool wherein, wherever unusual activities fetched, those activities would be given over here. Again, for traders, like there are a number of ways. If I keep talking, I can end up spending at least half an hour in this tool. Why is that? So let's say talking about Bank Nifty, if I see that the highest contributors in Bank Nifty, like HDFC Bank, I guess it is continuously has affected and it is showing you kind of a negative inputs. So I'll get a clearer vision because eventually they are the ingredients in Bank Nifty. Same is the case with Nifty. So I'll get the news and I'll have a crystal clear picture like what's how the options data is behaving in the market. An ideal time I would say to look at it is whenever, like especially during the market open and when the markets are volatile as we are witnessing. So yeah, you guys can post your queries into chat box, but I think I have made myself pretty much clear upon this. So I can pick up a stock, okay, let's say TCS. I can open it into the open interest tool so that it will give me a clearer picture how the different strike prices in TCS are been behaving. So I can always do that. So I think I am pretty much, I have made myself pretty much clear on this particular part. So now talking about some different tool. So before that, we'll take a small halt just for if somebody has any particular queries or not. Apart from it, I think I have made myself clear wherein I actually showed you how you can take this particular tool and use it practically, but not rather jumping onto a single data point, which you can refer my yesterday's demo video in which I covered the open interest tool quite in detail. So you can obviously refer that. So now let's try to understand the different tool in the application which we are about to discuss and which is pretty much the agenda for today. So we'll try to look into the the FnO scanner tool. So we have certain queries. So Mr. We cannot select any particular segment. You can, like, based upon the index options and the stock options, you can eventually do it. So now how to convert this unusual to trade? By the time I will react, the trade will be over. Wherein Nova increase what IV plus minus, how to interpret it, how much can, by the time I will react. Yeah. So Mr. Ramesh Chandra, yeah, exactly, a good point. So how you can convert this into a trade? Okay. So now it is not an hard and fast tool. You guys can obviously try those into the paper trading tool of ours, which is Manager. So now let's say कि अगर you are saying कि okay, Tata Steel is witnessing some sort of positive move, which is, so let's pick an realistic example. So I am scrolling down a bit and I hope I am audible. So now let's say, as I was doing, yeah, let's pick up any index option. So I'll scroll down a bit. So now trying to turn this into an opportunity. So I see that okay, Nifty 14,750 put option, short built up on 14,750 put. Agar price is 14 somewhere around 14,700, let's not 14,700, let's say Nifty's price is 14,760 or 770 for that matter. You know that there is support which has been provided by the put writers out here on Nifty. So it is indicating you a good positive strength for an intraday level for Nifty. If you would have seen this activity on, let's say, 320 itself, so you definitely get certain biasness or certain, I would say, indications based upon the movement activities of the participants, wherein the IV is 25%, but the IVs remain unchanged. So it is of that particular strike prices how impactful the news is. And let's say I can open it into the open interest tool quickly, so that I get the relevance of the strike price on the very first. कि वो strike price, how much it is, like very much how near it is to its at the money strike prices. And from that, if I see that okay, multiple times a script has been appearing on the long for the call side, and short is happening on the put side, and also short coverings on the call options, especially on the at the monies. So it is giving you certain indication, certain direction based upon the participants movement, which is, I would say, a positive move, which can be seen in Nifty or any particular script whenever it appears multiple times. So in that case, yeah, you have to be quick enough, wherein because it's the news which has happened, and you can quickly open it into the open interest tool as we had did it yesterday, and then you can, rather than being dependent on a single data point you can obviously try to club it around with something like the open interest. You can check the build-ups, and you can quickly like try it out something. It is giving you at least certain indication, certain direction, and especially a tool to be looked into or an instrument to be looked into, rather than picking up a random script or just placing and direct buy or sell order in indices. It's giving you, I would say, a data on which you can do a further analysis onto. So I think there is. So I don't know what exactly the issue is. So now I think I have made myself pretty much clear upon this. So there is, yeah. So we finally, my actually laptop got a bit choppy. So anyways, so you see the future price is 14,724. So the strike price of, I guess, 1450, it remains very much at the money. So it is giving you kind of an indication that put writers are providing the support to Nifty. And accordingly, I can obviously you can refer the yesterday's webinar for the better understanding of the open interest tool. So yeah, that can, in this way you can convert an unusual news into an opportunity. The whole point is it will help you out to find out the script, and it's for an intraday perspective. So you can obviously open it into the open interest tool. You can check the build-ups, and obviously we are going to cover the charts, so you can open it into the charts as well. So that's, I would say, that you can do. And apart from it, if you guys have still queries, you can post that into the chat box. So now let's proceed ahead and with the FnO scanner. So I am into the FnO scanner tool. So now FnO news में तो we saw कि okay, कि जहाँ कहीं पे भी अगर unusual activity has been witnessed, only that news is going to appear on my screen. But let's say, what if agar I have my own parameters, and if I want to see how exactly which are the strike prices are actually supporting that data. So that can be done in FnO scanner. So we have certain charts. OI raised in 1000, what does it indicates in percentage term ki utna open interest has increased. So Mr. Ramesh, it is indicating ki, let's say if open interest has increased by 30%. So giving you an example ki agar in HDFC Bank on strike price of 740, 1740, open interest whatever the open interest was at the market open, from that point the open interest has increased by 30 percentage. Yeah, it is indicating that it is the open interest has increased by 2500 sorry, yeah, 2500 percentage today in whatever scrape or whatever strike price you are looking at. So I think I have made myself pretty much clear onto that. So again in FnO news what we saw कि जहाँ कहीं पे भी एक activity हो रहा है या फिर activity हो चुका है, that news is given to you directly. Now let's say if I have my certain set of parameters to be scanned, wherein I want to scan and filter out the entire FnO segment कि मेरे parameters के according I want the strike prices to be recommended. So what I'll do is I'll come on to FnO scanner. As the name itself it is suggesting कि to scan the entire FnO segment. So I can select my instrument, I can give inputs about my price, I can change the OI percentage, I can change the IV percentage. So talking about these are the basic parameter, or I would say the by default parameters which have been set. You can obviously change it. It is never an hard and fast rule key. These are the parameters which one should look into. So HDFC Bank 740 call option on expiry of 25th of February, price is right now 0.4 of that option. 1740 call option price has gone up by 300 percentage today. So that's kind of a huge move we saw in HDFC Bank. Open interest for this strike price call option has gone up by 30 percentage, and IVs of this strike price has increased by 26 percentage. So it is highlighting me कि ये activity कि मुझे ये सब strike prices दिखा रहा है जहां पे एटलीस्ट प्राइस चेंज इज 5%, ओपन इंटरेस्ट चेंज इज 10% एंड आईवीज हैव शूटेड अप बाय 2%. अगर मैं कहूं कि मुझे आईवीज का चेंज मुझे नहीं इतना मैटर करता है, I'll leave it blank. I am looking out for a script or the strike prices जहां पे open interest has unwinded by let's say 10%, prices have gone up by 30 percentage. So I'm looking out for a short covering move. I can select my expiry, I can select my instrument, and I can click on apply. So I am looking out for a strike where the price change has been minimum 30%, price increase हुआ है by 30% at least, and open interest has unwinded by 10%. So I am scanning out for a short covering move. So let's try to figure it out. So I think I am facing some issue with my device. So just you guys spare me with the moment. So I'll so here you go. So wherein Tata Steel के strike prices में similar sort of move was witnessed. जहां पे Tata Steel I am seeing 720 के call option पे price has gone up by 578 percentage. So which is very huge, and this is all said and done now. So once the market opens, let's say somewhere around 9:15, obviously the market opens. So you can look at this tool somewhere around 9:45, 10 a.m. in the very starting phase of the market. So you will get an heavily impacted strike prices. जहाँ पे I'll get to see how the participants are reacting. Again, I'd like to add on a point where price अगर 690 होता, I am seeing कि call writers are getting nervous. They are like doing a short coverings move in Tata Steel. I'll again quickly open it into the open interest tool. I'll check my built up. I can check my charts. So that's how you can do it, and it will give you the data, and it will help you out especially to scan the entire FnO segment. News में we saw जहां कहीं पे भी हो रहा है, wherever the unusual activity has happened, that news is showing you. But FnO scanner, based upon our parameters, it is giving me, it's helping me out to scan the strike prices. So I can obviously do a long built up. let's say I am looking out for a price change of 100% and open interest decrease of, let's say, 50%. So I'll keep it 50%. So that's how कि जहां कहीं पे भी at least 100% price change होगा, those strike prices would be only shortlisted. So then it's upon us कि how creatively we use this particular tool. And by the way, the tools we saw, FnO News and FnO Scanner, it's purely an intraday. So try using it as much as possible in the initial phases of the market. So you'll get to see how the participants are showing interest in. And again, to highlight a few points, 25th of February, expiry is like there are only 2 days left to the expiry. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see a lot of short covering. So I need to be cautious while picking up a script or picking up a data point. So I can change my expiries. So if I want to go ahead with a weekly option, I can do it. If I want to go ahead with only options, but I only want to see the call options, so I can give always that inputs, and I can click on the refresh bar. So using defined parameters didn't yield any results, so it's giving you a direct no to your parameters ki aisa kuch, there was no strike prices witnessing this change. So this is how you can use it. Like call option mein, if you are looking for a short covering move, you are looking out for something positive, wherein you are looking out for the strike price where the resistance has weakened. Obviously, if I'm looking for a short covering move, I will be much more focused towards the at the money strike prices, so which is none right now. So I'll keep it on all and I click on the refresh button. So yeah, these are the strike prices, which is Tata Steel, Jindal Steel, 330 call, and also keep the factor about the expiry date into mind. काफी लोग on the expiry, participants are going to unwind their positions. So short coverings over here wouldn't necessarily mean each and every time कि वहां से it is going to that the resistance is weakened. Expiry आ रहा है, participants are taking out their positions. So as simple as that. So I think I have made myself pretty much clear upon it. So still, if you guys have any queries into this tool, you can post those into the chat box as well. I think I have made myself clear, wherein I can give inputs about my parameters, and based upon those, the scanner will help me out to scan the entire FnO segment. Let's say 5%, and the price increase of at least 5%, OI increase of 50%. So I'm looking out for a long built up, whether it can be a call or a put. Option type would be defined over here. Kotak Bank, call option, price change, long built up. I can see put option. I can see the price right now. I can see how much percentage the price has changed since the open, and I can see how the open interest has behaved today and how the IVs have impacted, how the IVs have been impacted. And it is a long built up kind of if you do this activity, especially you can follow this tool, especially during the market open, which is somewhere around 9:45 10 a.m, so that you have given enough time for the participants to build up their data, and based upon their activities you can plan out your options trade. How does it show pre-market data at the start of the market? So application, it will start refreshing at 9:15, then it will refresh at 9:20, then 9:25, 9:30. It's a 5-minute snapshot data. It will not show the pre-open activities. So I think I have made myself pretty much clear, and you can obviously use the interlink facilities available to check the futures OIH as we did yesterday. I can check the open interest as we did yesterday. So yeah, obviously you can do it that way. And eventually, if you have any queries, you can post me into the chat box and just let me know whether I have made myself clear on this part or not. If not, I'll try to cover it once again. I can use the search symbol. Let's try to find out any script, TCS, nothing sort of similar move happening. So I can always do that. So if I'm clear, I'll try to move on, but still we'll take a small halt, like a couple of minutes halt, just for our participants. If you have, you can open your application and just try it out once, like how the tool performs and how exactly the things are, so that you can get a better hang of it. So yeah, I think I have made myself pretty much clear upon it. So we'll take a small halt. So you guys, eventually, if you want to recommend us any of the script, we'll look into it.
Uh, so, hey everyone, Ritu again this side. I I believe the session was pretty good so far. So, if you have any sorts of queries or any script, if you have in your mind, do let us know on the chat box. So, accordingly, Mr. Shubhankar will help you and will guide you through it. So, we have some queries coming up. So, we have of Mr. Ramesh, and has asked to look into Asian Paint. So, okay, Mr. Ramesh, fine. I will ask Mr. Shubhankar to look into it, and also Mr. Sunil. Please show any script in future. Definitely, sir. Definitely. So I think the session is pretty good for now, and also I believe you guys are been using the application, and also while if you like their application and if you can give us your honest rating and your feedback on Play Store, it will really help us to serve you guys better, and also it will help us to reach more people for that matter. And so I'll just put 5 stars. Okay, and also you can put your honest rating over there, your review. So I'll just put my honest review, and once you're done, just click on to the post. So yeah, I hope pretty much clear. So, and just in case if you find any difficulties, do let us know on the chat box. And yes, Mr. Sunil and Mr. Ramesh will definitely look into it. And also, like, thank you very much everyone for your feedback. So I'll just quickly give this to Mr. Shubhankar.
So yeah, thank you, Ritu. And as she said that we have certain queries. So Mr. Ramesh has asked for this thing, which is scanning about Asian Paint. So if I am not finding my desired tool, I can use the search button. I'll go on to FnO scanner. So let's try to search. I'm giving my inputs. So let's say I'm looking out for the strike prices where the price has increased by 10% in Asian Paint. Open interest has increased by, let's say, or decreased by 30 percentage at least. And IVs right now aren't mattering to me, so I am keeping it like blank. I'm leaving it blank. I'll search for Asian Paint. So Asian Paint, there was no strike price wherein 10% price move. The price actually gone up by 10% of any option, and the open interest unwinded. So let's try to do it again. Let's try to search for some other data point. 5% of price change and open interest unwinded by 20 percentage. So I'll click on apply. So here will be the scripts. I can sort it down by price change or the OI change. I'll yeah, Asian Paint. So 2400 put option, short coverings witnessed. So that's it. So you can do it, Mr. Ramesh. You can scan your desired script. You can give inputs and just search for it whether similar sort of move happened or not. So now, as somebody has asked, as Mr. Sam has asked, it's just data, lots of data, how to take a trade based on that. Okay, so that's what we are discussing, right? Key, if I'm looking at it like somewhere around 10 or 9:45 for that matter in the market. Okay, so I'll just backspace the Asian Paints now. Okay, for meanwhile, so I have given it an input where the option prices have increased at least by 5%. Okay, जो option का price था, it has increased today by 5%. Okay, let's try to assume it right now. Okay, I am seeing कि मुझे ये देखना है, I want to see which are the strike prices where open interest has unwinded by 20%. Open interest has reduced. So it is Tata Steel's 3 strike prices, multiple strike prices, I would say that, wherein short coverings on calls are happening. So call ka prices are बढ़ रहा है, call options prices are going up. So I know that okay, it is on a positive move. But if the price is at let's say 690 or whatever it, let's say it is at 690, I am getting to see na ki 3 strikes above, the call writers are very nervous, they are unwinding their positions. So in this way, lot of data, it becomes very much useful when we use a logic behind it, and that's one of the logic. And also if I want to scan where there is a very positive move going around, where the open interest has increased and the prices are also going up. So these are the scripts long happening on Tata Steel 740 call option. But the key point out here is the relevance of the strike price and what data we are looking out for. And based upon that it will help us out to find out a script कि ये script में the resistance is getting weakened. And again I would say that not each and every strike price would be relevant. So you can pick a relevant strike price. You have given market enough time to build their data somewhere around 9:40 10 a.m. and you see that okay, this are the scripts where they're at the money strike prices or 1 or 2 strikes, I would say out of the money call options, it has witnessed a considerable amount of unwindings in the open interest. So call writers unwinding their position, short coverings happening on the call, it's showing you that they have certain biasness towards an upward spike, but the data should be relevant. Jaise as I said, expiries are going to head up. I wouldn't be surprised if I see everything on the short coverings move. So yeah, that is how you can do it, Mr. Sam. Basically, that's, I would say, one way of doing it. Eventually, I can do it by long built up and everything. So as Mr. Sunil has asked, few scripts in futures, please. Okay. So let's try to go for futures options. I'll click on apply. Obviously, it's a very big move still. I see Tata Steel futures options price increasing. Open interest has drastically increased on 25th of March expiry, and which is by 113.61%. So I can check, I can complement or I can take the futures data into consideration if I see the multiple strike price over there. And that's how efficient this tool, the tool FnO scanner is. So I think I have made myself pretty much clear upon it. And there is, it's the reading about the data itself. And I showed you one of the ways you can try it around, but just be focused right now as we are heading towards the expiry, which is going to be, there are only 2 days left to the expiry. So yeah, you can eventually just be cautious while doing it. And eventually in the middle of the month, especially once the expiry begins, the next expiry begins and the data starts to build, it will be very, very handy for you, especially during the high volatile situations, whether to avoid that option or to participate into that. So that's how, now it depends upon trader to trader, which script he picks, what is his choice of trading, what is his liking with regards to a particular sector. Now it depends upon trader to trader. There is never an hard and fast rule key you have to pick up a particular script. So yeah, that was it. Like, I hope, Mr. Sam, I have made myself pretty much clear upon the data. And yeah, that's the way, one way of usage. It is not a lot of data, by the way. There is a lot of data, I agree, but sticking to a relevant data will make a much more lot of sense. And that's how we can use the FnO scanner and the FnO news. So now, let's say yesterday we covered the triggers, we covered the built up, we covered the open interest. Okay, we saw a lot of derivative data. Today we looked into FnO news. We also checked the scanner. So we have very brilliant tool, and I believe you guys must have been using it for quite a lot of time, which is the charts. Once I click on charts, there are two panels appearing on my screen, which is single chart and strategy chart. I'll open single chart. So basically the technical analysis which you are been doing recently, so you can do it in Quantsapp in the charts tool. So we are providing you or a trader, it can be anybody, a one-stop solution for his derivative trading, wherein you get the derivative data, you get the technical data, or I would say the data for your technical analysis. And these are the commonly practiced charts, the 5 minutes interval candlesticks. I can change it, although it's the like commonly practiced charts wherein I can plot my indicators. So I can plot whatever my indicators are. Let's try to search one. Let's try to, if I want to plot my RSI, here I see I can directly plot it on the charts itself. So you can do it eventually. And let's try to if I want to plot an MA, so I can plot MA. I can change my direction, or I can change the settings from the setting bar. I can change the styles, I can change the inputs, and basically the commonly practiced charts. So if somebody finds out an opportunity, but he is like, if somebody is a trader who is doing technical analysis very recently or has been practicing it a lot, so I would say charts, you can club the charting data, the technical data with the derivative data. So tools like FnO News, the scanner, the triggers, they helps us out to actually pick a script, wherein the tools like the built up, the open interest, the charts, they actually show us like they give us kind of an confidence based upon how the participants are placing their bets. So that is from the charts. But there is very interesting thing which I would definitely like to highlight, and which I think nobody in the entire industry is giving. So which you have it in Quantsapp. I see the open interest charts, the movement about the futures open interest. I'll just close the MA and everything. If I want to go ahead with an option, let's say 14,750 call of this expiry, I'll select first the expiry date, 25th, prefix about the date. I'll select 21. I'll select 21, which is the ending year of the expiry. And let's say I want to go ahead with 14,750 call. I'll simply type that. I'll get to see this thing, how the price movement of this particular option has been, the charts of the price action of the option. So now talking about now, what interesting you get into this is basically just type Q, you'll get to see the magic. You can plot the Greeks on your single chart itself. Either you can plot the delta on the price, you can see the theta, you can see the vega. So I wouldn't go very like I wouldn't explain exactly how the Greeks function. Why is that so? Because eventually it will end up taking us a lot of time, and it is itself Greeks in itself is a very big concept. So wherein I can see the delta, how it is reacting on my option. And let's say if I want to see how the gamma is behaving, which is basically how my delta is going to move. Theta, in a single word, it's the time value about the money, how my option is going to be affected due to the theta value, and eventually it is going to keep on increasing. So each and every passing day, no matter how the Nifty moves, my this option, which is 14,750 call, is going to cost me like 7.46 rupees on the negative side. So theta is obviously on negative side always. So yeah, you can do it that way. And then I can see the Greeks, the movements about the Greeks for a particular option, and which I believe in entire industry, it's kind of pretty much impossible kind of a thing. So apart from it, we had the strategy charts. So, and this is basically, you can, based upon this, you can calculate your option prices, and it will help you out to make an decisive move. If I see that, okay, how can we implement this? If I see that, okay, theta may, you can always find out the resistance or the support levels of these things. And if I see which is going to happen tomorrow, where the theta is going to be on a very downward slope, so that's the point. You need to be cautious while, if you are on the buying side of options. And Vega, if it is like Gamma, especially on the expiries, if it is giving you a very unusual spike, a very drastic spike, I mean, it's showing you that your option prices, and if you are an option writer or an option seller, your position might be in a difficult zone. So you can read the Greeks. The whole point is you can plot the Greeks out here in the charts, which I think is it's a very unique feature. I can go on to strategy chart if I want to create my custom strategy, and मुझे पूरे strategy पे ही Greeks plot करना है. I can create my strategy. Either I can select any one of it. Let's say I'll go for custom strategy. So I can go on to it. I can change my name. So let's say I'll give it a name as straddle. So I see the future price. I can change my symbol from here. Let's keep it nifty. I want to go ahead with the long straddle right now. So 14,700 call option, adding it 14,700 of this expiry put option. I am also buying it long on both. I'm doing a long straddle. Save it. This is the thing. The straddle appears. Just double click on it or just click on open in charts. So it will directly show me how the price movement of the of this straddle has been today. Or you can look take a look back as well. Like you can just make a use out of it and just have a certain set of look back days out here. So wherein I can directly see how my straddle has been performing since 2nd of February. If I want to sit today what the straddle prices are. So it is showing me the payoff chart, how on every 5 minutes interval, the candlesticks which we saw, it is showing us in line format. It is showing me how my straddle is actually paying me off, a long straddle, which is 183 is the price right now, and the change from the previous thing, it has gone down by 0.82 percentage, which is 3.6 rupees. The combined straddle of mine, I can plot my combined the compressed Greeks on my strategy itself. So eventually if somebody wants to try out with a delta neutral strategy, so he can do an trial and error process in the strategy charts. So yeah, that is from the charts. Basically you guys can plot your indicators, and I believe you guys are been doing it better. So I wouldn't go like which indicator to plot and what to do. I assume that if somebody is doing an technical analysis, so he has certain sets of it. Additionally, you get the Greeks out here. So now we have a lot of so give us so now is it live data? Yeah, this thing, the charts, it will keep on updating everything in the application is a 5-minute snapshot data, Mr. Deepak. Real time will make it crazy. Yeah, we are working upon it. Mr. Uday has asked for a trade setup, so trade setup karo. So yeah, let's try to look into it. Okay, so now again it's never an back tested thing. So I wouldn't say कि आज का सेशन जो है, so FnO न्यूज जहां कहीं पे भी अनयूजुअल एक्टिविटी आ रहा है, it is giving you that data. Pick up an opportunity. It's not an back tested. You can try various combinations and permutations of the tools. Pick up a script from FnO news or the triggers or the built up tool as we did yesterday, or the built up or the FnO scanner for that matter, right? Check how the open interest data is supporting it in options. Okay, check how the built up cycle is performing it, how the strength of a stock is. Check how the charts is, so that you end up on a like their probability kind of increases, wherein there are a number of ways. This can be one of your ways. So just try to try it as much as possible. It's not that if I say कि ये setup use करो, tomorrow you are going to use it and your books are going to be like totally green. It's not that, right? But eventually if you don't give it a try, eventually you won't be able to have a practical view about how exactly it performs. Eventually my whole point is one needs to try out, wherein the stock picking opportunities remains like FnO news, the triggers, the scanner, the built up, wherein you can scan out your scripts as per your data points, and then the charts, the open interest, the built up, you can use it to confirm your data points. So yeah, that was kind of a setup. 1 minute chart of strategy. So yeah, we are working upon it right now. It can't be done. So it is a minimum you can see is 5 minute snapshot data. So we have a query. Can you plot an option strategy in one single chart? Means yeah, you can plot an option strategy in one single chart. Means two or four strikes combination chart, and quickly cheat sheet to identify nifty trend by looking at first chart trade. Yeah, so sure. So you can go on to charts, go on to strategy charts, create your whatever, go on to custom strategy, select whatever options you have. Okay, as we did. So you can select symbol, name your strategy, click on add leg, select whatever strike prices you have, either a call option or a put option. Click on add leg, select call or a put, buy or sell, and then click on save. So repeated leg is, yeah. So let's try to go ahead with something else. So let's try to buy the both of the legs, and also let's try to short something. So I can create any of my strategy, I can save it, and let's try to give it an input as a demo. So you can obviously give whatever name inputs you want, and then you can open it into the strategy charts. You can see how the price movement has been for a while. You can do that thing. So I think which would be definitely useful for you guys. You can plot your indicators, whatever indicators you want, plus you can plot your Greeks as well. So yeah, that is from the charts. And but to calculate your option premiums, can we have the payoff chart? Yes, exactly. It is the payoff chart. If I open the chart, so it is a payoff chart. It is showing me how my strategy actually would have actually responded, or how it would have been behaving. So I'll just look into it. So I'll go on to charts. I'll go on to strategy charts. So जो कुछ भी आप लोगों ने strategy save किया है, just click on open in option, open interest, just click on open in the charts tool, and then here you go. You see the price. So ये जो combined strategy जो I have made the spread. So it is the price right now is 168.4, which has increased by 3.00, seeing an increase in the prices by 1.81 percentage. And I can see कि कौन से time पे how the price movement was and कितना price था. So you can see the payoff chart obviously. So obviously I think I have covered pretty much, and eventually still if you guys have any particular queries, you can still post those into the chat box, because the tool which we are covering the next, it's one of the most interesting features, especially if we are in the expiries. Why is that so? Because delta theta gamma, I saw that in the charts. ठीक है, लेकिन if I want to make the most out of it, अगर मुझे ये पता लगा ना कि अगर मैंने कोई ऑप्शन बाय करके रखा हुआ है, राइट, तो उसका एडवांस में मुझे कल का पे ऑफ चार्ट विद एवरीथिंग कीपिंग एवरीथिंग प्रैक्टिकल, इफ आई एम गेटिंग टू सी कि मेरा पे ऑफ चार्ट कैसे होने वाला है कल का फॉर अ सिंगल लेग ऑप्शन, so I can get that thing done. I can get that thing sorted in the option chain. So I'll open option chain now. Okay, so wherein obviously this is the commonly practiced option chain, which is left hand side call options, right hand side put options. I can see the Greeks for each and every strike price. I can see the open interest changes, how much the open interest is, how much the IV is, and how the premiums are reacting. Okay, this is the change in the premium in today's date, and I can see how much the premium is right now. Okay, this is the commonly practiced option chain. I can see the future price, I can see the lot size. But let's say if FnO news में तो मैंने ये देख लिया कि positive move was seen at 320 in Nifty. Okay, we saw कि 14750 के put पे there was a short coming in. Okay, support got strengthened. तो यहाँ से I am feeling कि यहाँ से Nifty can go in the upwards direction. So that's the reason मैंने क्या किया, I played it smartly. I didn't risk it going out of the money. I went for an at the money call option, which is 102. Okay, you can pick up your script from different setups. So I'm giving you a very realistic example. So let's say I bought an call option which is 102. Okay, the price is 102 right now. Let's say कि उतने में ही मिला हमें, the market day खत्म होते होते हमने उतने पे ही buy कर लिया. So now eventually if I have to exit out my trade, okay, it is going, at least I need to exit it tomorrow. Buying, option buying, so my theta is my enemy, which is, it is going to hurt me by 22.24 rupees. So कुछ भी हुआ तो मेरा उतना अमाउंट तो जाना ही है ऑप्शन पे, which is 22.24. लेकिन मैनुअल लेवल पे I can't calculate, I can't open the Black-Scholes model. Trust me, I can't do that because it's so complicated कि eventually doing such sort of analysis and wasting unnecessary time into just calculations about our premiums, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So we have very interesting and one of the most loved, which is option chain what if. Okay, so yahan se we'll try to do an scenario analysis. This is again the same chain, but let's say कि मैंने जो कॉल ऑप्शन बाय किया है 14,700 का, ठीक है, ये तो बाय कर लिया, लेकिन जनरली what we do is, if our view goes horribly wrong, especially in the scripts जैसा stocks, we never try to understand कि उसका कल प्रीमियम क्या होगा, either it is going to pay me off or not, and especially during the expiries, despite view going in our direction, we'll still lose out on the option premium we paid. Why is that so? Because the multiple Greeks that we saw, manually I don't, as a trader I wouldn't invest time in calculating the option premiums. We have the what if analysis. I'll select date. So as I said, I am expecting Nifty to make an upward spike, so I'll give that inputs first of all. So let's try to understand. So I think, yeah, so eventually what this tool does is it's basically directly showing us how my option prices are going to react considering a particular scenario. So I'll just share you my mobile device screen. So my laptop is kind of showing some issue, which it did during the entire session. So any which ways, I actually will show you the mobile device screen as well. So this is how our mobile device screen looks like, and I believe my screen is visible. So let's say Nifty, okay, for a generalized example. So 102 is the call option price of 14,700. Concept remains the same for left hand side calls, right hand side puts. I'll go on to what if. I'm expecting Nifty's price to be at least 14,750, लेकिन वो change आया ही नहीं यार. मेरा view can't be 100% correct, right? I have to accept that market is not going to work as per our thought process. It is going to work how it is to. So I'll give inputs की आज तो नहीं हुआ, but I have strong conviction कि 14,750 price यहाँ से जा सकता है. I give it an update, but 14,750 तो जाएगा, लेकिन eventually I can't square off my position right now, right? Market is closed eventually, so I'll give it an input. I'll go on to days panel. I'll select date and I'll select the time. Let's say कि correction आते आते time लग गया, so I'm assuming that tomorrow I want to see how my option prices are going to fare. I give inputs about 9:40 a.m., which is tomorrow. I can see how the LTP out here, it becomes how much the price would be at 9:40 a.m. if this change happens. Nifty reaching 14,750 and at 9:40 a.m. So my option price will fare somewhere around 115.31. Change in the option price from the current option price is going to happen that 13.31. So which means कि 13 रुपए से my position would be still into profit. So which is kind of good. So eventually one gap up move happening, your position would be still on to positive note. But now let's say कि if you did a mistake कि यहाँ से आपने इसको थोड़ा ज्यादा एक्सटेंड कर लिया, कल पूरा निफ्टी डाउन था, स्टिल यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग कि नहीं परसों करेक्शन आएगा and you are still holding it up till the day of expiry. So that's where, despite your view going correct, you're still losing out on your option premiums, which is by 12.59 on the call option of 14,700. I can do it with any of my script, which I found out from FnO News. So it is a ideal tool, especially during the expiries. So let's try to understand about Adani Enterprises. Keeping into mind ki prices today it again saw an side negative side of it. So let's say I see an upward spike 14.5 बेस द कॉल ऑप्शन प्राइस डे खत्म होते होते बाय तो कर लिया, लेकिन आज या फिर सुबह ही बाय कर लिया था इसके भी हायर प्राइस पे, लेकिन आई एम इन अ कंफ्यूज जोन स्पेशली फॉर दोज हु आर हैव बीन रिसेंटली इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इनटू द ऑप्शंस. आई नेवर नो कि मेरा ऑप्शन प्राइस कैसे फेयर करेगा. सो लेट्स से कि यहाँ से आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग अ मूव ऑफ 805, मूव आया ही नहीं, होल्ड कर लिया पोजीशन अप टिल टुमारो. is it going to pay me off up till 12:30 बज गया आते आते ये मूव को. So marginally it is giving me a very marginal return. So I can see it's up by 1.56%, which is again good enough. So while wherein this tool comes handy, wherein if you have a conviction or an idea, but if you want, if you are planning out to carry forward your option trade, or even if during the expiries, especially for an intraday, especially in nifties and bank nifties, so you can check whether how long a duration of time you should hold that particular option. Agar Adani Enterprises ka, I also need to keep IVs into mind. If I am expecting ki result and everything ho chuka hai, I am expecting the IVs are going to cool down. Give an input like let's say 6%, 10%. Usually it happens, right? Ki like once the event is done, a major event is done, IVs they take a cooler down approach. So always just don't be dependent very much on the future price. Try to get a realistic picture built in front of your screen in couple of minutes in the what if analysis tool. View your prediction will go 100% correct, but if the IVs take a cooler down approach, if they take a negative move in front of your position will end up going haywire. So yeah, that is from the what if analysis. I'll click on M2M, which is the mark to market value of the particular script. So I think I have made myself pretty much clear on this. So still, if you guys have any queries, you can post this session. For how many more days do we have session daily? So we'll try to conduct it like we try to cover 2 to 3 or maximum 4 tools as we did it today. For that matter, the session actually got extended. So wherein we try to cover different tools each and every day. It would be, you can expect it on a regular basis, majority of the cases. So yeah, that is the case. But I would say that from the tool side, that was pretty much it from my side for today. But I would like to guide you guys through something, which is Quantsapp has recently actually framed, or I would say it has recently, we are live with some courses in our application itself. So if I go on to learn, if I want to see the option courses, so learning it's an never ending process, and there is no entry to barrier. There are a lot of new participants entering the market each and every day. So for that matter, if you want to opt for any of the courses, so if you want to trade futures using the Jodi Bao strategies, one of the most interesting strategies I would say, which is, and she also has and 30 years of rich experience in the market. So you would get it at the price of 7,000 right now, but the courses price is 10,000 right now. It is at 7,000, and you can build a successful strategy with PCR. You can find out the content of the course out here in our website, in the web app, in the learn section. Apart from it, I would also like to highlight quite a few points wherein especially I am quite a bit excited to announce it, wherein we are also announcing the options masterclass, wherein if I want Miss Jyoti Budia. So Miss Jyoti ma'am, she has an rich experience of over 30 plus years. So she's kind of a veteran, or I would say a role model, which I myself follow a lot, wherein if I go for masterclass, so I'll find all of the details of this particular options event which we are conducting on 21st of March on by from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the afternoon in at Andheri, Mumbai. So you can find out the data. So basically, she has seen the Black Swan event. She has seen the fall in 2008. She has seen the volatile situation in 2020. She has, you name it, she has witnessed everything. So it is going to be kind of an crisp and precise and pure actionable workshop conducted by the market veterans themselves, wherein Mr. Deepesh, he has 10 years of rich experience into options. So if you guys are looking forward for it, here is the details, and you are getting an sort of discount. If you opt for a workshop, it would cost you around 10,000 rupees, okay, only for the workshop. But if you want to opt for workshop plus the application, it would cost you 19,999, 20,000 basically. And if you opt for, let's say, only for the application for the pro, it would cost you 14,750. And talking about this thing, which is if you want to go ahead with the application plus one of the courses available, as we saw it in the learn section, it would cost you 14,000. Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's going to cost you 17,250. So that's how it is. So basically, as I said, there is no barrier to entry. So, and learning is a never ending process. And obviously, we have extended this session way beyond. So I wouldn't like to like go again and try to cover something else. So if you guys have any particular queries, so you can, or with regards to anything like more details about the options masterclass conducted, you can just drop us an email on support@quantsapp.com. Also, if you want to if you require any sorts of assistance, you can just drop us an email on support@quantsapp.com. Also, you can post your queries for us in the comment section. And also, if you want, if there is a very huge requirement for any sorts of tool in the application, you can just write us out on the YouTube comment section. So for those who want to stay posted for similar sort of webinars, we come live every day somewhere near to 4 if we not face an infrastructure issue like we did today. So precisely by 4 we are usually live. So you guys can just subscribe us and just hit the bell icon. So yeah, I wouldn't just equip a lot of time. So yeah, that was it from my side for today. And thank you so much for joining the today's demo session. And that was it from my side for today. And it was a great session. Thank you so much, everyone.